fix up that hair for you guys so that you know what, even though we're in lockdown, I still look pretty handsome. Hey. Anyway, hi guys and welcome back to another episode of Life Out Loud. I'm your host as always, Vishal. And today, before we get into the episode, I want to tell you a little secret. I suffer from something called rosacea. I'm not too sure if you would have seen it in the previous episodes, but I have rosacea. So rosacea is a skin condition which also leads to dry eyes. Now you can either have severe skin condition or you could have severe dry eyes, and unfortunately I have the eye syndrome, which I don't even know if that's correct terminology for it, but you'll see at certain points where either I'm crying or rubbing my eyes or they're very red and irritated. It's not because I'm that sad or emotional all the time, it's actually because I can't control it. So if you ever have a conversation with me and I start crying, it's not because of what you said, even if it was hello and you see tears coming down, it's just what I am. I don't even know if that makes sense, but let's get into today's episode. The people and us. Growing up, all I ever wanted was attention, and I would do absolutely anything to get it. I mean, look at me now, I'm on camera. Hey mum. No, when I mean anything, I mean absolutely anything. I would end up being either the laughing stock of the school or I'd do something stupid to get myself in trouble. My value to my peers was that kid they could rely on to get their kicks from. My value to myself, absolutely nothing. But through age and time, I started to learn a little bit more about life and who I wanted to become as a person. That became my values. In my teens, it was always about how I can make people smile, how can I make people happy? Because to me, all I did was care, and I cared more about people than I did myself. Education never really suited me. I was too busy playing football, being out with my friends, all my family. I was with people. So when I was asked to leave university, it didn't come to a shock. The shock was, what next? Or like my father would say, Ave. I had no idea what my worth was or my value. I had no idea what to do next. But as you can imagine, I live in an Asian household, and to drop out of uni didn't go too well with my family. So with the added fuel of my father's disappointment, I decided that I would do absolutely anything to make it in this world. A simple conversation with my then manager about how I wanted to go full-time, make a career and finally get a promotion was all it took for me to understand that in this world, to make it, you need to show your value. He asked me for 6 months worth of consistency. I said I'll give him 1 year. In that year, I became the #1 sales consultant out of 3,000 contenders. Not too shabby for a uni dropout. Hi, is that the people? Hi, come on in for your interview. How you doing? You okay? Come on in. Have a seat. Here, I just need to get you to sanitize your hands. Right, ready for your interview? So, people, tell me a little bit about yourself. Oh, you're wondering about that? It's just a little positive message for everyone that comes in, you know. Stay safe, social distance, stay positive. Tough times, yeah. Oh, we've got a wanderer. Oh, so I can see you see my Hall of Fame. This is for my employees. Hopefully one day you can be there as well. You know, I always like to show that I appreciate my employees. You know, I value my employees. So, you know, we put them up on the wall. I see that you notice the other stuff as well. So let me tell you a few stories. Those belts, competitiveness. When I make sure that everyone gets a chance at winning these. And over here we have my wall of trophies. Now, all these trophies have a meaning, but one has a very special meaning. Can you see which one it is? Are you drunk? Yes, it's this one here. Now without this award, I wouldn't be here. Without this award, none of this would be possible. Let me tell you about the story of when I became the #1 sales consultant in a company called Phones for You. It was many years ago. That year, I developed my core values as well as learning about my value. So what were my values? I was passionate, driven, determined, hungry, winning, and most importantly, happiness. But there was one value missing, and I only learnt about that value again when I got promoted as an assistant manager through coaching and developing. Can you guess what that was? Let me tell you a story about how I became the youngest manager for the biggest kitchen retail company in the UK. So a little bit of background information. I was only 24 years old at the time. I came from a company that just closed down with my retail director who brought along 10 other managers. I was the youngest. We had 2 weeks worth of training and I was told that I would be the first person going into a showroom. Now it doesn't seem like a big deal, but there were 9 other managers waiting for a showroom, all based on how well I did and how well I performed. So there was added pressure before I had even stepped 1 foot into my new showroom. But I went in confident. I believed in me, I believed in my values, and I believed that they were tailored to make any team successful, and most importantly, happy. But my team didn't want to listen to me. Politics. They feared for their job, so they would do absolutely anything to make sure I failed. 3 weeks into the job, and I got an email from our regional manager, and he said to me, "We have to pull you out. You haven't delivered what we expected, and you're now starting to tarnish our brand." 3 weeks doesn't seem like a long time. However, in the world of sales, everything's about results, and I just wasn't getting them. I needed time. More importantly, I needed a plan. So I scratched my head, self-reflected, and spoke to my assistant manager who I brought along with me. And it hit me. Why would this team believe in me? Why would this team trust and follow me when I hadn't given them a reason to? I told them about my values, but I didn't show them my value. And my value to that team was I built successful teams through coaching and developing. And the number 1 rule in coaching and developing is to show it works by doing it yourself. I was a natural salesperson. I understood the game. I understood people. For those of you who don't know my story, I urge you to stop, click that link somewhere, I'm going to say there, and go back and watch season 1, episode 2 of Life Out Loud. You'll get to learn a little bit more about me. Back to my story. My plan was to lock myself 2 weeks in my office just before our winter closed down, and I called every single customer that did not purchase a kitchen from us and sold over £250,000 worth. Now put that into perspective, they had sold £3 million in a calendar year. In 2 weeks I managed to do £250,000. On our close down brief, I sat them all down and I gave them a sheet of paper showing them how many sales I made for each individual. They were about to break up for Christmas with the biggest paycheck they've had the whole year, by doing nothing. I told them that I wanted to take this bottom performing showroom to the number 1 showroom in the company, and I couldn't do that without them. I wanted them to have the most successful year they would ever have in this business. Again, something that I just couldn't do without them. I wanted to fill their pockets with as much money as they've ever earned from this business. Again, something that I just couldn't do without them. So I finished the speech with telling them about my values. I'm passionate, I'm driven, I'm determined, I'm hungry, I'm a winner. But the most important values I have is happiness and people. My job as a leader is to make sure that I can create an environment where my people can strive and thrive, grow, develop, be happy. Most importantly, be accepted for who they are and be able to shine.
Morning. So, it's finally here. I mean, we've only been waiting 4 years, but we've got a refit, so let's give ourselves a round of applause to start off with. My journey started 4 years ago, and my journey started, there's a few of you still here, so we've got Fred, we've got Robin, we've got Trina, we've got Jay, we've got myself, and that is it. That is the members that started 4 years ago. So I owe a big thank you to these guys, because it's not easy for a 24-year-old who has no kitchen experience to come into this showroom and be able to be taken on board the way they took me on board. So first thank you goes to them. There was supposed to be Anwar here, Vikesh, and all the old people that was supposed to come back and make this a big occasion, but unfortunately, obviously, they have their own work commitments and they couldn't make it. Now, I wanted to think about it, and I really did sit at home for the last 3 days, which I really did enjoy, by the way, if anyone wants to know. I had a fantastic 3 days. But I sat at home for the last 3 days and I said to myself, what is the foundation of Wren Kitchen Hayes? So if I ask you what the foundation of Wren Kitchen Hayes is, Kieran, what would you say it is? Dedication, I like that. What would you say it is?
Family.
Family! Family is the foundation of Wren Kitchen Hayes. So if I look back and I say, what did I create here? I can say I created a great sales team. I can say that I created determination, passion, success, won so many trophies. But the biggest thing I will take away when I finally hang up my boots and say it's time for Wren Kitchens, is that Wren Kitchens Hayes was built on family. That means it's built on love. That means it's built on happiness. That means it's built with passion. And it is filled with that inside that showroom. So it is massive, an absolute massive thing that we've been able to transform this showroom from where it was to what it is now. It's a new chapter for us, people. When we walk into that showroom, we should be prouder than anything else because it has taken a long time to get here. A very long time to get here. And we deserve it more than anyone else. Wren Kitchens Hayes, it's a family. Wren Kitchens Hayes, it's a team. Wren Kitchen Hayes is the best showroom there is in the company. So before we go in and we open up, there's something that I've been wanting to hear for a while. There's something that I just need to know and I need to feel, and I need the whole of this car park to feel, because it's been that long since we did it. So for those of you who can't, who've never done it, follow. For those of you who have done it, I need to make sure, you see that green car over there? It's shaking. You see this blue car over here? It's shaking. You see Wren Kitchens Hayes? It's moving. So what people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what do I want to know?
Should we go ready?
Who are we?
Yes, I do. So with all your power, with all your might, we are about to open up Wren Kitchens Hayes with a brand new reprint. Who are we?
Team Hayes!
I need it louder than that. I need it louder than that. I need it louder than that. Come on, people. This is the car park. I want people in the Hyatt to wake up. Hyatt! Can you hear me? People, who are we?
Team Hayes!
Who are we?
Team Hayes!
Who are we?
Team Hayes!
What are we?
The best!
What are we?
The best!
What are we?
The best!
Welcome to your #1 showroom, ladies and gentlemen. Fred, would you like to do the honors, please?
What is value? The importance of something? The worth of something? What is value without proof? Nothing. I needed to prove to my team what my value was in order for me to get them to believe in me. And by believing in me, they now believed in my values. It's a sales trick. Everything is sales. But that is an episode for a complete different time. For now, thank you for listening to me. I'm your host Vishal as always, and I'll see you on the next episode of Life Out Loud. But before we go, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and share it with all your friends. In order for me to grow, I need your support. I'll see you soon.